What's up, my betting people? Welcome to Who You Got, your home for NHRA and drag racing betting and gaming insights. This week, we're heading to Brainerd International Raceway for the Lucas Oil NHRA Nationals. I'll be joined soon with the tag team experts of drag racing, Elon Werner, the brains of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, and Rex Simmermaker, the mastermind of Win Light Bets. I'm your host, JT Hudson from Drag Illustrated, and we're about to send it through the water box. We have the fan data and insights from Drag Race Bracket Bonanza and a pile of info from Denzi's Deets. So strap in and join us for episode 6 of Who You Got. It's time to get in the game. But remember, folks, gambling money has no home. Let's go. What's up, my guys? How you doing today?
Gentlemen, man, I'm fired up to be back. It's been a layoff.
It has been. We've been off for what, 2 weeks now? Something like that. I went on vacation, and then I took another vacation from a vacation.
I went to Seattle. I went back to Seattle, and actually was there for Seafair for the first time. Saw the Blue Angels. Saw them. Had the most American afternoon ever. Went to a Mariners game on Sunday afternoon. Right before the game started, they clicked on the Olympics on the Jumbotron and watched Noah Lyles win the 100-meter dash in the stadium with the players on the field. And then there are Blue Angels flying over the game halfway through. So you got jet fighters, you got Olympics, you got baseball. I mean, it's basically why the Constitution was written, was for that afternoon.
I'm surprised you weren't just going around squeaking, like a big.
And there was beer. And there was beer, for sure. Yeah. So I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back. Heading to Brainerd and chatting you guys up.
Speaking of the Olympics, did either one of you watch the new series on Netflix called Sprint?
Yes.
It covered them last year up to the World Finals or whatever, the World Championship, and that watching that show made me more invested into the Olympics.
Did. Case in point. Yeah, and
I never really known
who Noah Lyles was before that show, or the Shakira person, or any. That show totally does what Full Swing did, what that Formula One,
F1.
which was always broken record.
Yep.
Get an NHRA show. Yep. It'll make people understand.
Yeah, it was really well done. I thought it's got to be. It's got to be the same producer for those, or director, or whatever.
Yeah, it has to. Now they got Netflix Sports or whatever. They're just because they now have one. Now they did the quarterback show.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
Now they did receivers.
Now they have receivers.
Yep.
Which I've started watching that, but George Kittle kind of drives me a little nuts.
Well, I had to watch it because it had Kittle and Debo on it, and I was like, I've got to wait till they get their heart broke at the end of this, right? So I just watched it and watched it. It was like 4 a.m. and I still got it on. My wife, what are you doing? I'm like, I can't turn it off. Can't turn it off now.
Yeah, I got it. These guys totally think they got the Super Bowl in the bag, and they're about to get the rug pulled up.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait to watch a grown man cry.
JT's sitting there with every article of Kansas City Chiefs gear he has on.
I was
face painted, watching a TV show.
I loved it.
So yeah,
no, it was great. Because I heard Kelsey actually turn that show down. I think he's got enough shit going on. So.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, I mean, he's globe trotting with Taylor Swift. I mean, really, would you want to take time away from that?
No.
Negative.
So this week we are headed to Brainerd.
Yeah. The land of 10,000 lakes and snowmobile racing.
I know. I've never been. And I just want to go to the zoo.
Yeah, right. The zoo is worth it. The zoo is, I think, made for PlayNHRA. They should have some kind of. If they had a kiosk out there, I don't know what the gambling rules are in Minnesota, but if they had a kiosk out in the zoo, it would do some business because those guys out there, it's packed.
That's a good idea. little pop up
right.
betting casino little right out in the middle of the zoo,
or like a cart, like the cart girls at the golf course, just driving around. You guys want to put some bets down? You want to put some bets down?
This is a great idea.
Yeah,
I even got the beer cart for it that we could put branding on.
Yeah, I don't know what the legal rules are in Minnesota.
Yeah, we did that with Winlight Bets, right? We had our Winlight girls driving around the track and bringing them into our drag race themed casino, and it's a big deal. I mean, the fans love it because they gives them one more chance to get closer to the action.
Yeah, for sure. But JT, you're right for the zoo.
I know
it's not as crazy as it used to be, but it's still pretty
born
fun.
For it. I do.
It's still pretty fun.
So, any news around the NHRA that could affect anything this weekend? Got a couple things, I think.
I think the biggest thing is Beckman getting into John Force's car.
Yeah,
that's he shook it down at Norwalk. Mm-hmm. Now he's going to be earning points for Force, but he's going to be trying to win races for himself. And you're talking about a guy that's won world championships, nearly 36 race wins. Quality guy. You're about to put him in a car that ran 382 earlier this year, that had won races. We'll get into it when we start making our picks, but that's probably the biggest news is getting that peak car back on the track.
And this was the story that you kind of alluded to last episode, wasn't it? That Fast Jack Beckman was he was my pick to get in the car. Right.
Like I think he makes the most sense.
And he was the Days of Thunder type story, right?
For sure. And it's just going to work out just like you have they're pretty good rivals. Now Beckman's going to help get Force's 17th world championship. Yep. It's going to be bonkers.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
And then you have Tasca, who said that he has to drop the Fast Jack Beckman. He's got to drop that until he earns it back.
Until he runs 342. Or
right.
And it'll be interesting if Tasca relinquishes that title, if Beckman can be the first to 340 at an NHRA national event. Will Tasca recognize that? But I still think you're gonna have to go faster than him. That's what but Tasca wants that. Tasca wants that official 340 at an NHRA event so bad. I think he wanted it more in Sonoma than winning the race.
Probably right. And what was his top speed in Sonoma?
He got to like 338-ish, 338.7, some change. I mean, he didn't get to Robert's record of 339. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was coming up there. So
awesome. And then I think we have Ida coming back this race, and she's on a good team and has a good crew chief. And
yeah, I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing is European top fuel champion with a great team. John Schaefer's going to be tuning that car. I mean, he's such a smart guy. I think they have to be. They're not going to be a part-time team just figuring it out. They're going to be a full-time team hitting the ground running. They've been making test runs. They did that. Rex, what was the day with Hagen? Where were they?
Yeah, that was up in Michigan. That was that. What do they call
Roadkill Nights?
Roadkill.
Thank you. Yeah. So, but they were up there testing, or I don't know if it's testing, but doing burnouts and kind of showcasing the car. And again, she's a talented driver, right?
She is
a real talented driver, and
she's a hard worker too. I mean, she's a go getter. You can't sleep on her. She was in our 30 under 30. I believe that she was on the West Buck show yesterday. And I don't believe, I know she was because I was on it, right? So, but she's just go getter, and she's willing to do anything for her sponsors, and she puts herself out there. She runs a great social media campaign,
and
she's doing everything right.
Right. And the interesting thing is she will not be starstruck by racing for the first time in the NHRA, because she told me in order to get your top fuel license in Europe, they don't rent the track for testing in Europe. She had to do her licensing passes at events. So she was making her first top fuel passes at like Hockenheim with like 65,000 people in the grandstands. So there's no room. Think about it.
Nerve-wracking, right?
There's no room for error, because if you come out and show your ass on that, then you're immediately like done. Like you get one shot.
Right.
So you have to go out and like, the idea when she was over here, like that a team would just rent a track for just 2 or 3 dragsters to run and then make 6 runs in one day. She said that's unheard of in Europe. So her, she's raced motorcycles, she's raced top fuel. I mean, she's going to slide right into that car and be completely, she will not care that she's racing beside Sean Langdon or Tony Schumacher or Josh Hart or any other veteran driver, Doug Coletta. She's going to be like, I just want to get out here and kick some guys.
And if you ever seen her in the pits and just getting in the car, getting into the car, she looks like that she just came from the Olympics in gymnastics. The way she mounts, right. I mean, she swings over and mounts that thing. I mean, I mean, she oozes confidence.
She does.
Yep.
She does. And I think it's going to be great for the sport. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of interest about her progress internationally. She's got a great international following. Mm-hmm. So that'll be big. I mean, I think, Beckman coming back, Ida coming back. I think, we won't have Pro Stock motorcycles, so there will be, just the focus on the Pro Stock cars and Top Fuel and Funny Car. But it's the next to last race before the regular season ends, and there's also some jockeying for some of those top 10 positions. Brittany has to stay in the top 10 because she's missed a race. Yep. So, she's basically holding off, Josh Hart. But if he gets around her and bumps her out of the top 10, she won't make the countdown.
Oof.
So there's a lot of – you got 1.5 points in Indy. So a great race by Josh this weekend gets him close to her. He gets within 30 or 40 points. That's a couple rounds going into Indy at 30 points a round. It could be pretty spicy going into Indy. So Brainerd's going to be a big race. I think it always is.
Funny story about Ida before we move on. When she was in our 30 under 30, she won. Lincoln Electric gave away a full welder and all the fixings, and I think, and they drew for it on stage, and she won it. And then you could see on the face of the Lincoln Electric guys, Lon and those guys, they were, how are we going to get this overseas? Right.
Right.
Hey, I think they were just praying it wasn't her, and it was. Yeah, she won it. So
I've been there. We've had winners from Drag Race Bracket Bonanza that have been in Germany, the UK. We had one guy win from the Philippines, and I was like, oh man, how much is it going to cost me to send this guy's plaque and his hats and stuff to there? But luckily he was coming to visit his brother in like Idaho or somewhere. And he's like, just mail it to my brother versus mailing it to the Philippines.
That's funny. One of my golfing buddies just walked in here. He's probably wanting to lay some money down himself now. But okay, so then let's move on to Denzi's Deets for the week here.
And it's going to be a crazy weekend. I mean, but the thing that's funny is this is a Greg Anderson's home track. So you're looking at, Greg, won there 3 times, 6 trips to the finals, but it comes down to 2 people, in Denzi's opinion, Greg or Erica. That's no breaking news, but they both won there. But the thing you can't overlook is Jed Coughlin Jr. and Aaron Stanfield have won the last 5 races in Pro Stock. So that's going to be huge to just kind of keep an eye on those 2 guys for your picks.
What do you think? What do you think in just kind of side talking it?
Yeah.
Erica's got to be hungry right now and mad starving. And right. So
and Greg too.
Greg too, actually, yes. So they want to get back on top.
Yeah. And I think it's always great when Greg wins in Minnesota because he's a hometown guy, grew up there, made some of his first runs there. So when he comes back, he's got tons of fans there rooting him on. So it'll be good rivalry for those 2.
And then this week we do not have any Pro Stock motorcycle.
Nope.
It's the motorcycle eclipse.
Yeah. We got
on to Nitro.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. This class has been dominated. Both these classes have been dominated by guys the last 15 years. Schumacher in Top Fuel, and John Force in Funny Car. But he basically, they should just call Brainerd the John Force Raceway. The guy's been to like 15 final rounds. I mean, it's almost half the final rounds this place in 40 years. But you got Beckman getting into the car now for him, and that's a car that, like I said, ran 382. So I think Beckman's got to have a really good shot of stepping into that. And then on Schumacher on the Top Fuel side, 6 finals between him and AB. Those are the top 2 guys that you really got to look at. But Lindsay's opinion is this could also be a big weekend for the women in Top Fuel between Brittany running good, Jasmine running good, and Ida. And how cool is it that we have a series that you have 3 women that are viable options for winning a race?
That is wild.
That, so basically almost 25% of the field will be females.
And nobody's going to, protest it if they win or anything like that. We're not going to have an Olympic boxing issue.
Correct. It's going to be just straight up, hey, we just got our ass beat by somebody that, had a better car, had a better reaction time. The other thing on Funny Car I think is going to be interesting to see is Caps and Tasca and JR and Hagen. Between those 4 guys, Tasca's been winning a lot of races, but Caps and Hagen and JR are hungry and have quality cars.
Right.
And, so that's the biggest thing is it's a little wide open, but it's also a little not wide open.
Hagen's been in the mix. He just hasn't got it done.
Just hasn't, for whatever reason. And I know that's, Tony Stewart got to a final in Sonoma, so you can't overlook him in Top Fuel. I mean, his program is just continually making better strides,
I'll tell you the reason. It's because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard to win these races.
Yeah.
And,
it's obviously
you got to be fast and consistent. And that's tough to do.
And you have to get some breaks.
Yes.
And that's every sport. I mean, you need a guy to make a great effort in a baseball game, great catch to, end an inning, or a guy makes a clutch hit that just, a broken bat flare, gets a rally started kind of deal. And some of the, to win a Top Fuel race or Funny Car Pro Stock race, you need something to happen to just give you that little bit of magic.
Yeah. And I think with drag racing and the rule sets that we have right now, everything is so tight. I mean, you just can't mess up.
No.
Right.
There's no way you can overcome it.
Nope. And I think the reaction times the past 4 or 5 years, the reaction times have just keep improving. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you went back 10 years and took an average of the reaction times in Top Fuel Funny Car and the reaction times today. I think that's actually be something kind of cool to look at.
I bet they'd be twice as quick. I bet you'd have guys that were going from averaging 120 lights in Top Fuel to now averaging 60 lights. Top to bottom.
That's pretty nuts, really.
That's nuts. Yeah,
it is. It is. I mean, I remember John talking about it one time and he got his practice stuff out in the motor coach and was practicing. He just, because he knew that it's going that way. And I've got to, if I want to stay in this, I've got to get better on the light, because these young guns are. And
Sean Langdon talked about it in 2020, Justin Ashley's rookie year, that Justin came in and was just resetting the bar. And Langdon at that time was one of the best levers, but he was like, we have to get better because of guys like Justin Ashley.
Right. And
now Justin Ashley and Josh Hart are the best levers. And now there's a whole other group of guys, Sean Langdon, Coletta, that are just right behind them, but they've improved dramatically and are still a little off the pace.
These wheel guys, though, that's what you want in
right,
betting.
Exactly.
If you can find a driver that's got a competitive car somewhat, and maybe he's not the fastest, so the odds will be stacked against him.
Right.
But if he's a wheel man, I mean, that's where you're going to win some money.
Exactly. 100%.
And then we'll just take a look here at some of the data that we have from Drag Race Bracket Bonanza.
Yeah. So this is the cool stuff you get. You can sign up and play for free at dragracebracketbonanza.com. But like on Sunday morning, once all the picks are locked in, we kind of get predictive winners. So in Sonoma, Matt Smith was kind of running away with everything. So he had, he was the runaway winner. Gage Herrera, who at that point had only lost one race, but Matt Smith did go on to win this race. So you see,
the people got it right.
Yeah, so the fans got it right in this case. So that was a cool thing to see. And that's, sometimes it's people picking number one qualifiers, but I think you see people making picks that aren't just with their hearts, that are with their heads a little bit.
I like it. And then you guys, I think me and Elon both picked.
Yeah. Matt Smith came through for us.
Yeah. That's the only thing that saved my week.
And I wish I'd have gone heavier on him.
I know, right? Well, we did the previous 2 or 3 weeks, I believe. So
right,
yeah.
And then pro stock car, it's bonkers that Aaron Stanfield, this guy's won a couple races of the last 5, was still hovering at about 4%. But that big 3 favorites, it's just so hard to break through with the confidence level people have with Greg and Dallas and Erica. But then you see.
And Dallas moved up quite a bit here, and that's
he did.
Of his qualifying.
His car was running good, but that's got to. I think that's got to irritate Erica to see the fan predictions dropping her back to 3rd place. But again, I think she takes things like this as motivation.
Well, Greg and Erica are going to be mad because Greg is red here, and Erica is in blue.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk to the Drag Race Bracket Bonanza graphics people to flip those around. But look, but it looks just better to just see the the number one people in the bright red. So
it does.
But I think you look at how deep the pro stock class is, that guys like Hartford and Jake Jr. and Troy Jr. Are getting some love, but not as much as the big 3.
See, here's the thing. The sharps love this, because you're taking somebody like Erica at 22% of the pick, and we know at any given moment she's capable, and so like the odds we give us a bigger chance to sneak in there when only 22% pick her.
Yeah.
So I think the sharps love this stuff.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that how Drag Race Bracket Bonanza can align with PlayNHRA is, we lock this in before the first round. So if you're doing PlayNHRA, you can still make a PlayNHRA bet, and you can still pick Erica, like during the first round. I don't know that you could. I don't know when the cutoff is on that, but you could look at this. If you're playing Drag Race Bracket Bonanza and you get this information, you can be like, oh, do these people know something I don't know?
Right.
And I know that we talked about it there in our private chat, but I was up in North Michigan and was able to, play some bets and play a little bit on it. And, because in Missouri, I haven't had the opportunity, and wow, man, I had a blast doing it. It was my main picks didn't hit, but I splashed some money around. Perfect example, which would have won quite a bit, would be like Corey Reed. At the last minute, I forget what the odds were. They're like plus 8,000 or 9,000, 10,000 or something crazy, and I just last minute threw like $5 on him. And I think if that would have hit, I think it would have won like $5 to win 500 or
that'd paid for your gas money.
Right. I know, but it was fun. And what's fun with this and the odds are, especially like looking in pro stock here, this whole field basically has a chance to win.
Right.
And so, and with as big as the odds are, you can play around, splash some money around if somebody's running good. If they make it to second round, because I think you can still get bets in later, right?
Yeah, I think so.
First round, I believe I did do that. So, it was a good time, and the odds are just crazy on some of these drivers. So, and it's worth just throwing a little bit of money at just for fun.
Just for fun. It's the same deal when your bracket's filled out for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, and you get down to the semifinals, and you can see your overall ranking, for Top Fuel or Funny Car, or even the overall for the race. And you're like, oh man, if Antron Brown wins this thing, I could, get that autographed plaque, or I could move up in the overall standings. So just having that little bit of extra, I I don't know what the right word is, but skin in the game.
Mm-hmm. And it made it fun, and made me keep checking it, which I mentioned to you that the drag race bracket Bonanza, I just go to the website to my bracket, and that's how I was. I wasn't around TV or anything, yeah, and that's how I was getting updated on the race. And don't tell Wes or anything, I work for DI, so
yeah, no worries.
And then funny car predictions or predicted winners.
Yeah, so Proc was the runaway. I mean, he was running so good, but then Tasca's right there, and Tasca won the race. But again, you get, it was Tasca and Caps in the final round. So that, the big four in funny car. The thing I think is interesting is the popularity of Buddy Hull, kind of coming in there right at, of all the guys that were in the 1% range, he's just right there behind Dan Wilkerson. But I think also you're going to see guys like Cruz, Dave Richards, Blake Alexander. One of those guys is going to have a breakthrough race. They're going to get hot. They're going to come around. And it's just going to happen for them. Same thing with Dan Wilkerson. I mean, that's when we get to the odds, we're going to see it's a buyer's market, I think, when it comes to the odds for this weekend's race in Brainerd.
And then to Top Fuel, old Coletta cleaning house here, huh?
Yeah. So Doug Coletta he consistently is making history. He's about to be in his 600th race this weekend at Brainerd. In Sonoma, when he got upset by Ron August Jr., that was the biggest upset percentage-wise in the history of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. Now, we're only a year old, but that basically less than 1%, less than 0.5% of the people predicted Ron August to win that round. You look at the 0.15% predicted Ron August to win the race, and when Doug lost, 46% of the brackets in Top Fuel went straight into the trash can.
Including mine. I was like, what?
I mean,
this can't be right.
that upset level was astonishing. That's the kind of stuff that, warning lights go off around the world when those things happen. So, but again, you look at Clay Milliken and Brittany, but Antron coming in for the win at 5.5%. That's that spread in Top Fuel. I mean, Doug's been running so good. He just, missed a little bit of the magic on Sunday, and who knows? And the crazy thing is that win on Ron August with a short field, that win catapulted Ron August into the semifinals. So if he would have been coming to Brainerd, he would be in the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty race. But instead it went to the quickest first rank, like the quickest non-person, I think so. I think Leah I'm trying to think of who got his spot but someone else basically is the beneficiary of Ron August not coming to Brainerd. They got their spot. They got moved up into the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty.
And Clay, as far as odds go, Clay's got a big following.
He does. He has a huge following.
Yeah, been around the sport a long time, and he's easy to cheer for. Great guy. He remembers everybody's name, I think.
And he's got a fast hot rod.
He does, and he's been performing pretty well. I think that you might see him have a breakout here before long.
I agree. I agree, and he could be a guy that could be perfectly positioned to get hot in the countdown. He's going to go in right in the middle of the top 10. And then he could get hot right there and just, get his first NHRA championship to go with all his IHRA championships.
And Brittany as well. Brittany's fast. She's always fast. Yeah. If she gets more consistent and puts that speed to use, then they're not going to want to see her in the countdown either. I don't think, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
I think going back just to your Coletta, Ron August Jr. Discussion. I mean, we had something similar in Pro Stock earlier in the year, right? John DeFlorian, Enders,
Erica, for sure.
And I don't know what the number said on that one, but I think it just goes to the sport and how insanely competitive it is.
Yeah.
That you have something like that where you have 16 knocking off. You have the Cinderella winning.
Yeah.
More than one time a year, which is pretty impressive.
And winning and then going a couple rounds. It's not just a one-off kind of deal. So it's gonna be bonkers. And these next 8 races, the last 2 regular season races and the 6 races in the playoffs, it's going to be Katie bar the door with how competitive it is. Talking about reaction times, cars running good, weather conditions. We're going to get to the cooler tracks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look at that.
Look at that.
You're
back in the green.
Yep. Big weekend for me in Sonoma, plus 413.
Bet your way out of it.
Yep. It was a good weekend. Tasca and Matt Smith came through for me.
And then Rex, you struggled a little bit this week. Huh? Yeah. But you took some chances. That's what it takes, right?
Yeah, you got to bet big to win big.
Yeah, that is true. I just basically just had him hold my money for a little bit and then give it back, right?
Yeah, but that's JT. That's how you're going to pay for that bass boat.
That's right. Ripping lips, baby.
Yep.
Just show them your T-shirt, JT. Just show the T-shirt, and we go. Yep. Scared money don't make
no money.
That is definitely true.
Yeah.
Then we'll look here at Funny Car event winner for this weekend. Austin Prock is the favorite.
Yeah, and I'll tell you who I'm going to pick. This guy. I'm picking Beckman to win this race. I'm going all in with my hundo on Beckman because at plus 900, that he's getting into a car that's won 2 races. He's got experience, and that swing right there is just too delicious for me to not pass up.
I'm gonna piggyback that. I think I picked the same driver there. I think Fast Jack is coming back, and good car. I mean, truthfully, for a guy of his pedigree to have plus 900 odds is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet money there.
And I get it. He doesn't have anything proven. It's been a couple years since he's been off, but I don't want to say it's like riding a bike, but it's kind of like riding a bike.
You going 100 on that one, Rex?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to take Proc.
They might as well be putting $900 in my pocket, JT.
Right. I know. I'm going to take Proc for 80.
Oh.
Yep. At 473. And then I'm going to put just 20 down here on Buddy Hall.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
And it's just, I mean, the odds are plus 8164. So
that's smart,
brother. Yeah.
Just for fun, right? And I like Buddy. Buddy's a good dude, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think another one here, Tasca's running great.
Yeah.
Hagen has got to be, like we've talked earlier, he's got to be hungry. He's going to win one before long. And then you got Wilkerson, Caps. I mean, geez.
You get down to the long shots. Alexis at plus 1487, Cruz at 1615. If someone were to tell you, oh, hey, Cruz is going to win Brainerd, you'd be like, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Sure. So it's not like we're talking about, the Cleveland Browns, winning 4 games in a row.
Right.
Paul
Lee made it quite a ways up the list after having that finals appearance.
Yeah, he's been running good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Top Fuel, Coletta. But he is these guys are all pretty close here. Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, Sean Langdon, Steve Torrance, Doug Coletta, Clay Milliken. They are all right there about 100 within each other.
All right, Rex, what do you got here, buddy?
All right, so listen, we talked about her earlier. I'm going with Ida Zetterstrom. It's plus 3384, right? I mean, listen, we're going to Tahiti if we hit on that one. But I'm counting on the drag racing gods to strike down with the Thunder and bring her into stardom in her very first race. So we've seen it before. The drag racing gods do make some decisions, and I think we got a chance this weekend to see some history.
All right, You going to go all in on Ida?
Oh yeah.
Oh buddy. Buddy. Well, if you hit this one, yeah.
Right, so
you have to bet big to win big.
That's true.
All right, so JT, I'm going to go. I'm going to take a page out of your playbook and split it up a little bit here.
Yeah,
I think the onslaught or the improvement of Tony Stewart. I'm going to put 40 on Tony Stewart, and then I'm going to put. And these odds are just too crazy for me. I'm putting 30 on Josh Hart and 30 on Tony Schumacher. Because Schumacher at 15.18 and Josh Hart at 14.27 and Tony at 5.87, that's just that's kind of how I think someone can, if one of those three hits, even on those levels, the odds are so good. So
it was 30 apiece on them?
It was 40 on Tony. 30 on Josh, 30 on Tony Schumacher.
You're making JT work.
I'm good. I like it.
But that to me goes back to your point, JT, like when you're in Michigan. Now I got 3 horses in the race.
Yep.
So the odds of one of those 3 guys getting to the semifinals or finals, probably pretty good. And then you're thinking, oh my God, if I got $30 on, Tony Schumacher at plus 15 to 18 again, that could be some upgrades on some flights for me. Let's be honest.
That's true. And then I'm going to do 50 on Coletta. 50. And that is at plus 655. And then I'm going to do 30 on Ida. I love those odds down there.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
33.84. And
this is great TV.
Oh,
right?
just
I know.
go 50 on Ida. Just go 50-50, JT. What are you doing here? Just go 50-50.
Well, we got an extra 100 this week, right?
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm using my extra 100 in funny card, just so you know.
Okay, I will do 50-50 on that. And then I'll figure something out here. 50-50. All right. Okay, so then you do have some extra here.
Yeah.
I'm using mine.
Actually, I'm using my. I said funny card. I'm using it in Pro Stock because I've got some wheeling and dealing in Pro Stock to do.
Okay, we can look at Pro Stock here. Greg Anderson is the favorite. Dallas Glenn, Erica Enders, then Aaron Stanfield and Jeggy.
I'm going to go 50 on Greg as the hometown favorite. And then taking a page from the JT book, I'm putting 150 on Troy Coughlin Jr.
Oh.
At plus 1287. That for a guy that's won a couple races recently.
I like that.
So then I've used all my 400, I think. So 50 on Greg, 150 on Troy Jr.
All right.
So we've got 200 left, right? At least I do. Okay, so I'm gonna say that what Elite has done and gone up and did some testing at Rock Falls. I think that's the track that's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So they tested close. So I think they've got a better feel for it. Erica won that race up there, so she gets 50 of my dollars for just keep it rolling a little bit for her.
That's all she's getting for that effort is 50. She's getting only 25% of it, Rex.
$50. We're gonna give 50 to Greg Anderson because that's his hometown, and
I like what you're doing here.
And then I got 50 for Jeggy and I got 50 for Aaron because I do think what Elite did in terms of getting data is savvy.
Yeah.
So I'm putting 50 around there, but Greg, Erica, Aaron, and Jeggy get my money.
I do like it.
JT, what are you gonna sprinkle the pot?
I probably will. I'm going to do 100 and 100 on Eric and Greg.
I mean, that, again, let's look at the odds. You know, you're in for 200. And even if when you win, you're going to win. You're going to cover your, so you're basically getting double value for two of the odds-on favorites.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. Like it's essentially it's just an ATM. All you got to do is just go and withdraw your money with these odds. And
but only gamble if you can afford to lose it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go 80 on Greg.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to put a 20 spot down here on Latino.
Okay, that is very smart because he has a car that can win. He does not have a clutch pedal that can win sometimes.
Right. But he's getting better.
But he is getting better. But yeah, so, and again, 20 at 43.25.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call, JT. You'll people will be writing folk songs about you if Eric Latino wins and you cash that ticket.
Yeah, I mean that $20 bet there. Yeah, pays out 177.20.
Genius. Okay, so that's it for us, right? We got
I did put the top fuel head to heads in here just to take a look at them. Yeah. I think these are really fun.
I do too.
I really do. And
if you're in a state where you can do these pick'ems, this would have me so interested in just. I would probably just put a little bit of money down on all these.
I know, like just go through with whatever you can afford and just roll with it because I think it would be fun.
Because it's hard to say the way that they do such a good job of laying the odds on them that it's hard to I can I don't know who's going to go further.
These are some good matchups right here too.
See all these depending on how qualified. These could all be killer final rounds.
Yeah. Yep.
I want them just to do match racing with these odds. Like I just let's I'm not saying scrap a qualifying session, but just use one of the qualifying sessions and go, listen here, let's put them head to head.
Here's how we're going to run you guys.
Yeah.
It reminds me of our grudge night at World Series of Pro Mods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And man, I think that night actually sometimes seems like it's bigger than the finals.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean,
everybody knows that there's money on the line.
Right.
They called out and, they're going head to head. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. JR Gray and Justin Swanstrom, like JR took that race. You got to give it to JR though, because Justin didn't have anything to lose. JR had everything to lose on that.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks. On this deal here, I really like Brittany over Billy. If I was betting on this, that's
the one that I would take.
Yeah,
I would take Brittany over Billy. That one or either Justin over Clay. I like both those guys, but I think Justin probably may have a better shot at going a little bit further than Clay. But all the rest of them, I don't want any part of. Man, it's going to be a big weekend. People can sign up for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza anytime. You'll get your Denzi's Deets on Friday, totally free. We'll have some killer prizes, signed plaques. Drivers are kind of tricking them up. Steve Torrance signed his plaque, back to back for winning Seattle. Matt Smith, when he won Sonoma, basically just wrote his resume on there. It was like Sonoma winner, specialty race Getrex winner, the whole deal. Tasca signs his stuff, 341. So definitely sign up and play. Get your picks in on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and we're excited about it.
I need one for my wall, man.
You do. You need it. It makes again. Then you can at least be half as good as Mike Carpenter.
I know. Mike got lucky though. He got in at the very beginning.
Yeah, he was only playing against like 1,000 people. Now you got to beat like 3,500 people.
Yeah.
So it's
every week it gets harder and harder to win.
It gets harder and harder. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then I'd like to thank our sponsors, Drag Illustrated, of course, for letting us do this on their channel. Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. And Elon over here, Winlight Bets and Rex. And then Rex, you got any news? You might be you're getting closer and closer, aren't you?
Getting very close, yeah. So we're getting close. I can't do it today, but we're getting close to announcing kind of our opening day for Winlight Bets, and that would be, that's going to be later this year. It's going to be a 2024 date. But I'm going to hold that for another probably episode for because frankly, this. I'm not a developer, so there's some things that are easy to move and they kind of make some big progress, and then there's some other stuff that's a big challenge. And so, but we're getting very close, and it's getting close enough that we can get pretty excited.
I bet you're ready, because that development stage is probably cost you more than having a gambling.
It's cost me a lot of money. Yeah, I need Ida to win this weekend. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Yep. And then Racers Club, you can stop by and get your merch. There we have a new hat and a new tank that just came out a few weeks ago, racers.club. And then closing thoughts, I guess next week or a couple weeks, we will be, was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. So let's, we talked about, we're going to do the show from Cruz Pedregon's open house, live show. So that Thursday night we'll be at Cruz Pedregon's open house. So we'll work out the details. We'll announce that, but that'll be fun for us. All three of us will be there, and we'll sort out the details. But come check out the show and watch the show.
Come check out the show and watch the show. Yeah, there'll be a lot of drivers there signing autographs. They have a car show on the outside the whole time. I believe they're auction, food trucks, live band. It's a pretty cool deal, really.
It is one of the top, I would say, top 3 driver autographs open houses that we do. Selfishly, the Motorplex does a pretty good fan fest, but it's not really an open house. Josh's deal to open up the Gator Nationals at his shop in Ocala, but then this one right here, I mean, Cruz has got tons of cool stuff in his shop, kind of getting to roam around there. Tons of not just drag racers, but Caleb Cox gets like MMA guys there. He gets football guys there. It's a whole scene. So it's a great way to start the U.S. Nationals.
Yeah, I love it, man. And then if you're there, we'll probably pull you in, maybe let you make a pick or two,
for sure.
A few people. So
absolutely. Yeah. It's really become a part of the, good part of the U.S. Nationals. I mean, it really has.
Yep. I agree. Well, thanks everybody, and good luck on your picks this weekend. Try to get them in. I think they'll probably open up tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So go to PlayNHRA and get your picks in, and then we will catch you here in a couple weeks at Indy.
That's right.
And
tell them, JT, finish it up. What is it? Scared money don't make any money, right?
That's right. And gambling money has no home. So until next time, y'all, thanks for watching.